to the 290th episode of Gyan Pravah series. I am your host today, Dr. Kiran Pandey, Chairperson, Medical Education Committee. Namaste and welcome again to the Conversations That Heal, a space where medicine meets mindfulness and where science meets silence. Today's episode is a very special one. We are exploring one of the most profound journeys in modern medicine, the meeting point of cardiology and consciousness, where healing goes far beyond the stethoscope. In a world racing with noise, we pause today to listen the rhythm of silence, the kind that truly heals the heart. Madam, I welcome you to this podcast, and it is my privilege to introduce to you. You have redefined the leadership with grace, strength, and empathy. Dr. Sunita, you are the dynamic president of Fogsi, the Federation of Obs and Gynae Societies of India, a renowned IVF specialist, a visionary educator. Dr. Sunita has been a torch bearer for holistic health and the leadership that reflects compassion and competence.
Kiran,
Uniting,
don't talk about me. I'm so
ma'am,
thankful.
I was waiting. I think so. Something has happened. Dr.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
By the
okay.
way,
He will
ma'am,
join.
we always get very rare opportunities to talk about you. So please give us few moments. So madam is competent, uniting the clinicians across the India to focus not just on disease, but on the dignity and wellness of every woman. Your words echo with beautiful truth. Healing begins when the doctor's empathy meets the patient's hope. Under your stewardship, Foxy has brought forward conversations that celebrate wellness in its totality, physical, mental, spiritual. And we are honored to have you with us, Dr. Sunita.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you for your lovely words. What is most important is every evening we join, we are there, we connect with our Foxians, and we always educate, maybe in any field. I think this journey of 290 days has become one of the best journey of my presidency. I can't believe we have passed so many days. Joining every day 8 p.m. is a little difficult job, but I think we did it successfully.
But madam,
And
this has given us such an opportunity. I mean, we all talk from the heart, that never thought in our life we can do the podcast. We do listen only. And when you gave it, honestly speaking, I think everyone must be having the same feeling. We thought how we will do it. But now it is going to end in a month, so we will miss it. We'll
I know.
definitely miss it.
I know. We gave a great platform, and that's okay.
We are honored to have Dr. Sunita with me, and I will request her to say few words. Our guest today is Dr. Mohit Dayal Gupta, who is Director, Professor of Cardiology at GB Pant Hospital, New Delhi.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiran, and thank you for having Mohit sir here. In fact, when he was sitting first, I think because of the connectivity you shifted, but before also I noticed a watch with the Brahma Kumari sign on it. So I was thinking only that he is a follower of Brahma Kumari, and now I see the photograph of Baba. I know Brahma Kumaris. I had been to Mount Abu, and I do know their cardiology program, what they run, reversal of a heart disease. I'm not aware how much you are doing in your journey that or in your day-to-day practice, but happy to know that. And I had visited when there was a big conference which was on a reversal of a heart disease. Lovely to have you, sir. And
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you are bringing the spirituality into medicine. And that is what one of my Foxy presidential activity also is. Arogya Yog Yatra. I strongly believe that bringing this spirituality into our practice, we can heal the patient faster and better. Definitely. So today's your dialogue with Kiran will enjoy together. Our protocol is I join the viewers link and both of you will be having your dialogue. Thank you so much for coming on a Foxy platform and thank you for bringing the light in everyone's life. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dr. Sunita.
Thank you.
And now I'll welcome our guest, Dr. Mohit Dayal Gupta. Madam has said very correctly. He's a very ardent follower of Brahma Kumaris, and he is actually, that is why we have kept this episode of the healing heart where science meets silence. And that is his work is also in, lot of work is in meditation. So, Dr. Mohit Dayal Gupta is the Director, Professor of Cardiology at GB Pant Hospital, Delhi. He's also the cardiologist to the Parliament of India. He has completed his medical and super specialty training at Maulana Azad College and has been honored with 18 gold and 5 silver medals. His research is pioneering, investigating the most important, the role of genes, artificial intelligence, and meditation in cardiovascular health. He has led national and international trials and is among the few who dare to ask, can the heart heal through consciousness? That's very important. He has received the National Best Innovation in Cardiology Award, the Eminent Teacher Award, recently also the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2025 by Global Zexivarians for his contribution to society. A celebrated TEDx speaker and a guided light for many, Dr. Mohit is beautifully blends ancient wisdom with contemporary science. A lifelong practitioner of Raj Yoga meditation, he believes the rhythm of heart which mirrors the rhythm of one's thoughts. So welcome, Dr. Mohit, and it is really an honor for that you are here with us at Foxy platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I, personally speaking, I have heard many of your talks with Brahma Kumaris. I am, in fact, I would say regular listener of Shivani Ben's podcast, and usually I take it in the night so that it cools. I mean, it's a very calming effect on the brain. So I have heard many times you, and that from since then I was thinking that you are with us, and that is my grace of the God you are here. So as we clinicians, we are trained to diagnose, treat, and cure. But what truly completes healing is connection, the ability to touch the human spirit, and that's what you focus on it. So let's see that how your the journey as a cardiologist, of course it is remarkable, and you ventured into, but how you have ventured into meditation, consciousness, and what made you look beyond medicine? I think it will be beneficial for all of us to learn about this journey.
So that's a long story. Thank you for this question, and I would keep it very short. Meditation and spiritual atmosphere was right there in our home from beginning. And let me tell you, this is not something that comes very distinctly and separately. Our life actually is an amalgamation of both science and spirituality. My parents both are doctors, and they used to do a lot of spiritual work and practice spirituality. And right from my childhood, I was then affiliated to Brahma Kumaris when I was as young as almost 8, 9 years only. And that is the time, when I really started to understand the philosophy of not just Brahma Kumaris, but also reading various Vedas and Shastras and getting to know what spiritual self is all about. But my true instinct was very different from what a routine person would be following. It's about the balance between not just knowing, but knowing how and why we should be practicing. And that is what makes true spirituality different from religion. And I'll tell you that, take it as an example that you also are a doctor. And when we are doing our MBBS, what normally do? We are dissecting the bodies in our anatomy classes. And my natural question and instinct would always stimulate me to ask my professor of anatomy, then Dr. Professor Sen Gupta, that, this is a dead body whom I am dissecting, and this dead body, has a heart, has a heart that is not beating, has eyes that are not seeing, has hand which is not moving. And these kind of questions, which may feel like very irrelevant to most of the doctors, they used to just come into my mind, and his answer would be that, what is lacking in this particular body is something like a consciousness. And that is where my real understanding of true scientific self and spirituality started. And that is where I knew that healing and treatment are two different aspects. You as a doctor and I as a doctor, as a cardiologist, you as a gynecologist, it's our duty to treat patients. I would be operating on patients, I would be giving them perfect medicine, and that is perfect treatment. And we must understand that a perfect treatment can be given even when your state of mind is not very comfortable. Even you are a bit irritated, you are agitated, or you're not in a good state, you'll still write the perfect medicine for the patient. But that healing would not happen. To convert that treatment to healing, it's very important is to make a mind understand that the disease process is not starting in the body, it is starting in our own mind. And this is where my journey started. I started realizing that, disease itself is made of two words, dis and ease. And when easiness goes away, not just in this body, but in our mind, it is then that when we become diseased. This is where the logic is. And that is why Dr. Kiran and thousands of people who would be seeing this, that people come and say, is doctor se baat karke hamari aadhi bimari theek ho jati hai. When we talk to this person, how does it happen? Have you ever even imagined that? Why this is happening? This is happening because you have not touched the patient. You have not even investigated the patient. But the moment you interact with somebody, the healing happens. And this happens because your state of mind is very calm and cool. You are very comfortable. That is very important. The disease is starting in the mind. Once you are able to take away the agony of the patient in the mind, the healing process starts. And this is where true spirituality started in my medical practice. So this is how the amalgamation started, and then rest is history, that we conducted numerous experiments, we had numerous talks. I delved into a deeper literature of consciousness, of soul, of supreme soul, of the mechanics of healing, or the genomics of healing, and then my various life stories that make me what I am today.
So you have touched that my thoughts, like of course as doctor we do keep on doing, but that's right, sometimes you feel it, you want to go deep into it, and this very important sentence that the patient say कि आधी बीमारी हमारी आपसे बात करके दूर हो गई, और पेशेंट्स हस्बैंड विल से कि मैडम इनको प्रॉब्लम थी, हम आपके पास ले आए तो ये आधी बीमारी इनकी ठीक हो जाती है. So that's really a very good thing. And that's why probably it is very rightly said that the arteries don't block alone, thoughts do. It is our thoughts which are creating. So you have conducted many studies on the impact of meditation on coronary artery disease. So what have you found? What are the results or outcomes you came across when you did these studies? Would you share to the audience?
So this requires a deeper understanding. Merely telling you that our study results are showing something significant would not help. As you just rightly said, one has to have that conviction that our thoughts are manifesting in our own reality. That is what we must understand. Now look at your own life. Each one of you who choose to listen to this particular podcast, before I tell you about the science, let us understand that what kind of thoughts a human being is generating every day. Let me tell you that our own mind, the most important part of our consciousness, scientific studies prove and say that 50 to 70,000 thoughts is what we are generating every day. And logic also says, the science also says that 95% of our thoughts are waste, are negative, and are useless and purposeless thoughts. So now imagine that if a factory is producing 100 products and out of them 95% are waste and negative, you would obviously call that particular factory as a useless or a redundant factory. And why this is important, Dr. Kiran, is that every thought that you are thinking, whatever you are thinking now, is giving you a behavior. जिस प्रकार का विचार है वही व्यवहार है. That is how you are going to behave. If your mood is good, if your thoughts are positive and good, something great has happened in your life, how would you behave? You would be very happy, you would forgive people, you would ignore small things, you would have a wonderful environment and everything would just seem perfect. And your feelings will be very positive. On the contrary, when you are stressful, when negative things are happened, your behavior would be very irritating. You will start finding faults in small things and you will even lash out at other people. And that shows that whatever we are thinking is manifesting in our behavior. Now science goes on to prove that when negative thoughts, negative behaviors, pressures at our home, at our professional work, and in our own inner self, stress at 3 different levels is going to manifest in various forms. It gives you a very pathological variant which is called stress, and now stress after diabetes and after smoking has the 3rd highest attributable risk for causing coronary artery disease. So one of our landmark studies that we showed, in which we investigated 1500 patients of heart attack. And in those 1500 patients, you would be surprised that besides diabetes, hypertension, stress was present in 91% of the individuals. And that was one of the individual causes that was determining heart attacks. In a study of 45,000 people, the Interheart study, similar results were shown. Today, in our own lifestyle, whether we are doctors, we are professionals, we are IT professionals, look at the kind of hurry, look at the kind of worry, look at the kind of lifestyle that we have created. We are gaining knowledge, but we are starving for wisdom because we have forgotten to create that work and life balance. And this is where whole problem starts. Why this podcast today? Why do you need to actually talk about this science, spirituality in science? If science was just perfect, probably spirituality would have no role. It would be running parallel and differently. But we know that besides having perfect treatment by science, we are not able to give complete healing to the patients. And that is where we need that it is not only for the patients, but also for you, for me, for healthcare providers. We need to be stress-free, and only when we are in a state of good health and mind, then only we can give perfect care to our patients. That is what we showed, that even in patients, even in healthcare workers, 98% of our healthcare workers were suffering from anxiety, some level of depression, and various kinds of mental agony. Now this is really revealing that when healthcare workers themselves are suffering from stress and anxiety, you can imagine in what state of mind they are giving health or benefits to the other people. Then we further showed that in heart attack patients, I just investigated 150 people of young heart attack who did not have any risk factors, no diabetes, no hypertension, no family history, no hyperlipidemia, no other risk factors, no smoking, absolutely nothing. And when I saw that 25% of my population, of young heart attack population that I am operating, is between 18 to 35 years, this was surprising. And when we further investigated, we saw that these people who are physically aged between 18 to 35 years, our results showed that when we took their blood samples and investigated the biologic age of these individuals, their biologic age or age of their genes was equal to a 60 to 90, 95-year-old individual. And this is really surprising. This is really bad. You imagine. This is where our science is now, our lifestyle is now leading. That without any other risk factors, still we were having these negative side effects of stress, of agony, of all the negativity. That is why today we need to manage all the stress in our life. And then we further investigated that stress is one of the major predictors of all these factors. Besides the other factors, stress is a singular most important tool that is decreasing their genetic age. The telomerase enzyme goes down, the telomere length comes down, and these people are genetically much more aged. So various studies that we have conducted are now showing this, and now our most of the effort is now focused that how, if stress is one of the causative factors for this, how stress-free living, how meditation can actually help us to create a very happy and a healthy lifestyle. That is very important. And we are reversing the aging of these individuals by practicing meditation. So this is in a nutshell that, where science is going. Yeah.
Very, very nicely explained, I would say. We are hearing these days a lot about the inflammation affecting the body and these all the metabolic syndrome. So it must be correcting that inflammation and balancing the hormones. I mean, in a way, we can say what I can infer from your studies that calmness is the chemistry.
Inner
We
still.
say it in
Yeah,
a
yes. What you are thinking inside, what you are cooking inside is what is going to manifest. So it's peace, it's positivity, it's love, it's joy, it's happiness, it's acceptance, it's understanding, it's love in a relations that is going to create magic.
yeah, and which is these days in digital technology, when has taken over so much, it has been missing, and everyone feels this. Very rightly said that the heart attacks are occurring in a young age. Almost all diseases are now being manifested in young age, and the age has totally gone down, and nobody is able to explain those risk factors. So very rightly.
You talk about diabetes, you talk about hypertension, you talk about cancers, you talk about viral illnesses, and even diseases like Alzheimer's, early aging. All these things are occurring almost a decade earlier in Indians and South Asians. This is the problem.
Yes.
It's like a pandemic.
Sir, I think so. Just a word about, you have some app you are designing, Dhadkan. So just a word about it. What is your vision?
Actually,
And what is
it's
your
not,
planning into this?
yeah, actually, we were working with Indian Oil Corporation, IOL, and what the basic need for this is prevention. Because when disease has occurred, it's always, you have already sustained a damage. And when damage is there, you are in a damage control mode and repairing the arteries or treating the patient. That is one of the factors. But for those individuals who have not suffered from any particular event, or those individuals who have not been identified to have that particular disease, that means you need some kind of a tool to diagnose this particular disease. And this is where the role of Dhadkan, a very customized app, comes, where what we have just done is we have given them basic parameters. It could be like lipid profile, it could be like sugar, it could be age, it could be risk factors like, hypertension, various numbers, the metabolic number, the BMI. And what we do is that the whole organization, everybody is mandated to fill their particular performa, and this will now then estimate the risk of the individuals. And then these people are then given individual counseling by the people and the doctors who are working in the organization, and identify those people who are at risk, or actually they have disease but it has not been diagnosed, and this helps us in treating those patients without them sustaining any damage. So these kind of apps are available and designed by various other individuals also. So this is a very simple tool that we created for these people, and this has really worked well for them. And this was an internal exercise that they have done, and this then did some good work. So this can be done for even your organization. Gynecological organization is predominantly Foxy is a women-driven organization. We do have doctors, male doctors, no doubt, but you can. I would suggest that why don't you have a heart healthy organization? That Foxy be the first organization where every individual, every gynecologist, obstetrician is suffering from a perfect heart health, and we can give you a list of parameters, and that can, to all your members, all Foxy members are heart healthy, can be given to each of the members, and then you guys can get that particular pro forma filled in that particular thing, and then it can be individually analyzed, and then they can be counseled. This is how these apps are going to give you a good preventive role in life.
Yes, definitely. It will. I think so. It will be very beneficial for the healthcare system. Of course, one has to combine the data with other. It has to be done on at a wider platform, and then only it can give the result. So, although you have said it, let's come to that doctors are under tremendous stress, and gynecologists specifically. We never know कि बच्चा कब आएगा. That way he will decide or she will decide कि when to come and how to come, normal delivery, कि cesarean or all that. No, it keeps on going. So, how do you think? What do you advise us for a meditation? And how meditation can help us into this healing?
See, first thing that we have to understand is introspect our own life. Everybody just talking about stress. Stress seems to be like one of the talk of the town. The whole world has been talking about stress for decades. We have had talks on stress. But most important thing is each one of you should ask a simple question to yourself, that what is most important thing in your life? Are you happy today the way you are working? If your answer is yes, wherever there is passion, there is purpose, there is no pressure and there is no stress. So if you are happy and satisfied, अंदर से सुकून है वो हमें, बहुत चैन है, that level of comfort is there, then probably you don't need to manage your stress, or probably you are stress free, absolutely. But if somewhere, somehow inside, that happiness is not there, that satisfaction is not there, that peace is not there, even while you are eating food, multiple thoughts are coming. Your mind is just going and jumping from one thought to the other. You don't take out time even to be very comfortable with your own self, with your own relations. You are not able to take out time for your own family. You are not having that sense of comfort. Then this is a serious concern. Serious concern. Let me tell you, Dr. Kiran, talking about obstetricians, see, I've addressed thousands and millions of people across the world, and in not one, not two, I've had more than 50 to 100 obstetrician and even gynecologists coming to me who are amazingly successful in their professional career. Not successful, amazingly successful, who have had big institutes, who have institutes where they just don't get time to even sit down, and their words and their dialogues with me are only one target. They have only one word. They say, Doctor, we have everything, but that sense of joy and happiness is lacking. There's no love in our family. We never gave time to our own family. Our children, our family doesn't listen to me anymore. What should I do? And it's too late then, That is what I want to tell you, that balance is the key. So until and unless that the situation of personal pandemic, we understand that we are no more in a very comfortable state of mind. We have landed, we have complicated our lives by our own thinking, by choosing, by making some wrong choices in our life. Stress is now becoming an integral part of our life. That means just like a pandemic, that balance is not there. That complicated thinking is there. We are not able to take our time. So somewhere, somehow, we need to put break. We need to put break. Jumping onto meditation, jumping onto something is not just going to help immediately. It is not that this is going to create magic. No. Self-realization is going to do that. Making small changes in my life, that is what is going to do that. Limiting your work. to something that is optimal or little more than optimal is what is going to do that. I will suggest simple exercises, starting your day with self-contemplation, taking out time to nurture your own self, taking out time to sit in silence peacefully, talking to your own self. Right from morning we start and we are busy in our mobile, organizing our appointments, talking to people. That is not the way we should start. I even start my day every day. My schedules run from 3:30 a.m. in the morning till 11:30 p.m. in the night. This is what my schedules are. But I allow myself to give myself some me time. From 3:30 to 4:45 is my own time where I meditate, where I empower myself, where I'm doing some more contemplative thinking. From 5:30, from 4:45 to 5:30, I'm reading some spiritual version. I go out for my workout. I'm walking, and while I'm walking, I'm planning my own day. I'm talking to my own self. I'm introspecting my mind. I'm seeing that what I need to do to improve my own self. 7:30, 7:45, I'm in the hospital. I start operating my cases, more than 30, 40 cases. It's the busiest center in not in India and Asia. That is the center we work in. Every day we are doing, but balance has to be there. Coming home at time, sitting with your family, small changes, having a dinner, having a meal with your family, taking out that quality 30 to 40 minutes, which is free of all the mobile, free of all the television, free of all the WhatsApp, free of all the chats. That is what is important. Disconnecting from the technology and connecting, having that human touch. Even while we are talking to each other, what are we doing? Are we looking at the mobile? This is how we talk. This is how we are talking. Continuously focusing. The quality of our conversations when a mobile is merely present in our conversations, not looking. Forget about looking. Merely if my family and myself are talking with mobile, which is there on the table, the quality of conversation goes down by 25%. This is what studies are showing. And then we talk about stress management. How is it going to take care? In our own home, how are we communicating? We are communicating through WhatsApp, through our own this thing. Children are in another room, we are in another room. This is not the way. And what we do, when I come back home, my father is a gastroenterologist, mother is a gynecologist, 80 plus. We all sit together, have a dinner together in our family. 4 of us, my younger sister, no mobile phone, nothing. We, after the meal, we'll sit together in the drawing room, we'll chat, we'll gossip, we'll argue, we'll fight, we'll do everything. But we are connecting. This is what is the key. That human touch, that connect in the family is what is most important. That is what is going to heal you. These are the ways we as doctors have to inculcate in our life. Self-care and self-change is a priority. It's a necessity. It's much needed. Today we are not nourishing our own mind. We are we are amassing huge wealth, everything is there with us, our position, our power, our pride is there. Oh, I am this, I am this, I am this. But where is that sense of happiness? Ask yourself. Each one of you is listening to you. Ask yourself right now, am I happy the way I'm leading? The answer your consciousness will give you. This is what we need to do. Dr. Kiran, you must understand, single most important factor. The studies which are conducted in Harvard, the happiness study, the Grant and Glueck study, the second generation study, following 700 people for 75 years, measuring every aspect of their life. You know what it concluded? It concluded only one thing. Measured everything about their life. That single most important factor for successful, for happy life is not the money, not the position, not the power, not the commitments, not what you are now. It's only and only great relations in our life. Only great relations. Single. So ask yourself, these are the mantras. What does meditation do? It's giving you some me time to contemplate, to think, connecting with God, having those moments of purity, of love, of happiness, of joy, having that shower and spilling that out in our own relations. These are the mantras. This is the essence of life. We are all running. मैं तो कहता हूँ ना कभी कभी बी कॉम्प्लेक्स की गोली के साथ एक्सलेटर दबता है और रात को नींद की गोली के साथ ब्रेक लग जाता है. Everybody is running. And doctors are no exception. Everybody is no exception. What are we doing? What are we amassing? Dr. Kiran, you must understand, you can buy a good sari for yourself with money. I can buy a good suit or a good shirt for me with money. I can have a great house. But I cannot have a great home. I can have a nice mobile. But do I have time to communicate and talk to my own self with my family? You don't need a mobile to talk to your family once they're sitting in front of you. You know your human connect. Surprisingly, the most precious things in our life are least expensive. They are love,
Yes.
they are happiness, they are joy, they are peace. And you would not say, take 2 lakh rupees and buy half kg of love for me, 2 kg of peace for me. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. And second most expensive things are expensive, that is very important. So these are the simple mantras, and all this does not require a 10 or a 20 point program. I have numerous videos which I have released on my channel, you guys can see, and it's all about self introspection. Small things, small changes, that one change that I decide to make, you and I, we change that. This is what I'm going to do today. This is what we do in our family. We are connecting together. We are sitting together. One choice we make, we are going to have a dinner together. That's one thing. No personal dinners, nothing. No specific room dinners. Everybody in the family is going to sit on the same dining table. We are all great cooks. We'll cook together. We'll enjoy. We'll celebrate. We'll clean. We'll do everything. And this is what creates magic.
That is what used to happen in the families when the
Earlier,
elders said that
yes,
was we were
yes.
doing. Our lifestyle was the same. It was giving the cool.
So
Uh,
this is what is called counterclockwise lifestyle. We have to go back to the same style, the way we used to be earlier. एक घर होता था, माँ होती थी, सब बच्चे होते थे, बैठते थे. We were all having dinner together. Now we have forgotten those old times.
yes,
Simplicity in
nuclear
life.
families.
Yes, I say nuclear or it is joint, irrespective of that, sitting together, having that human touch, having that human connect is what is going to heal. This is the essence. This is what true spirituality teaches us. This is what it says, that don't disconnect. And mobile is not bad. Technology is not bad.
Yes,
Optimally using that,
optimally and
judiciously,
proper justified use.
judiciously using it is
Judiciously.
what is important.
It's very nicely explained, and this is true actually. I do agree, and I think everyone does feel the same thing in the heart, though they are not able to take that firm decision to actually implement it. Everybody is realizing these days with the stress coming out as etiology of everything. सबको डॉक्टर्स को एटलीस्ट दे डू अंडरस्टैंड इट बट वो कितना इम्प्लीमेंट होता है सर बट आई एम श्योर with with your explanation, the way you said, people will definitely have this feeling. Sir, there are various other emotions also. कहीं fear है, anger है, worry है. Do they affect our physiology of heart also? Do they have that like कैसे how do they cause blocking of the coronaries, or how do they affect the healing part?
So all these emotions are a consequence of some form of stress. And these emotions are very natural. Let me tell you, our lifestyle, our body is, our brain is made of two parts. Basically, there are two major functionalities of brain. One is the primitive brain, which is called the amygdala or the lizard brain or the limbic system. And then we have the frontal brain or the prefrontal cortex, which is very advanced brain. Now, what you do is you decide to be happy, you decide to be decisive, you decide to do something, you want to be great, or you say, Dr. Mohit, I'm going to do something phenomenal and nice. And this is what your prefrontal cortex is thinking of. Now, what happens is, moment some kind of new thing you try to do, your amygdala or limbic system will get stimulated faster or earlier than the prefrontal cortex, and it will say uncertainty, fear. Don't do that. It's very difficult. You're not going to do that. Your life is already so comfortable. Why do you want to mess? ये तो बोलते ही रहते हैं. This is not going to work out that way. And that is what fear and uncertainty is. Something wrong happens in our life. Something negative happens in our life. What happens? You are losing your patient on table. At that time, fear will go in our limbic system. And when we allow fear and uncertainty to take control of our mind, our prefrontal cortex or the logical brain, it stops thinking. It gets blacked out. It gets blank. And this is where our whole body is then controlled by the emotions of fear, of pain, of uncertainty, and of negativity. Now, what happens when your body physiology is run by your emotional state of mind? Emotional state of a mind, what happens is it is going to stimulate what is called as the parasympathetic system. So the sympathetic system, and it is going to release what we call as the stress hormones like cortisol. It is going to deplete all the happy hormones. It is going to delete all the positive hormones in our body. This is how the simple physiology is running. And when over functioning of the sympathetic system is working, the stress hormones are getting precipitated or produced in higher amount. This leads to or stimulates to what we call it as a plaque rupture in our body. The substrate is already there. The plaque is already there. The vulnerable plaque in the arteries is already there. Sudden stress, sudden negativity, sudden emotional turmoil is what precipitates, and that is why you see often many of the heart attacks that are occurring are a consequent of a turbulent emotional state in our life. So this is how it works. So the physiology of the heart is not that emotion is directly working on the heart. They are all working in synchrony with our brain and heart axis. So emotions are creating a turmoil. What will happen? जिस दिन आपका मन बहुत अच्छा होगा, extreme level of happiness and joy, that also precipitates this. Extreme level of negativity, that also precipitates this. Balance of emotions is what is the key. Balance of emotions. So, and this is where the role of meditation creeps in. What happens is it gives you a stable state of your mind. Now what happens is stimulus is coming, positive or negative. You choose what to internalize, you choose what not to internalize, and by this you are able to control the release of your emotions, and hence you are able to capture and manage your prefrontal cortex or the logical brain. यानी अंदर से emotional तूफान आएगा. That emotional turmoil is going to be there, but you are completely in control of those emotions, and that is why your logical brain starts working properly, and that stress that you are going to experience is significantly less. What is the problem? आज हो क्या रहा है? Today we are allowing our mind to work like a sponge. You know, this is how it is working. अगर boat है समुद्र के अंदर, there is a boat that is sailing or a ship that is sailing in a sea. When the ship is prone to get or to drown, only on one condition, only when it allows the water to come in, then only the ship will drown. Otherwise it will not. It will not. Similarly, in our own life, when we allow everything negative outside to come inside our mind, we become heavy, we become stressful, we become negative, and this is where when our own life, our own mindset starts sinking and we lose control of our own self. These are the simple logic. This is how every disease is working with. Yes.
So how to stop those negative thoughts to enter? How to stop them?
They are your emotions. Don't fight with them. Don't fight with them. I told you that we are allowing our mind to act like a sponge. Instead of being a sponge, you start making your mind act like a sieve. छन्नी देखिए आपने क्या होता है?
Yes.
छन्नी में जो चीज रखनी होगी वो रुकेगी, और जो चीज नहीं रुकनी होगी वो फिल्टर आउट होके बाहर चली जाएगी. तो नेगेटिव चीज है. नाउ यू जस्ट इमेजिन, एक चीज अगर हम आपको लेते हैं, आपके पास एक एग्जाम्पल को लेते हैं. आप कहते हैं डॉक्टर मोहित, एवरीथिंग इज परफेक्ट, बट क्या बताऊं यार, ये व्यक्ति जो है ये बहुत इरिटेटिंग है, रोज आके मेरा दिमाग खाता है और मुझे इतनी इरिटेटिंग लगते हैं, इसको आई जस्ट कांट स्टैंड. या मैं यूं कहूं कि इस व्यक्ति को देख के मुझे बहुत स्ट्रेस हो जाता है, मेरा मन ही नहीं करता, काम से मन हट जाता है. हो सकता है आपके साथ, हो सकता है नहीं हो सकता.
बिल्कुल.
अब मैं आपसे एक बात ये पूछता हूं और सबसे भी पूछता हूं कि अगर एक व्यक्ति जो आपके लिए बहुत इरिटेटिंग है, क्या जरूरी है कि वो मेरे लिए भी इरिटेटिंग होगा? यस और नो? बताइए.
Not necessarily.
नॉट नेसेसरली, ऑब्वियसली नॉट। हो सकता है जो मेरे आपके लिए बहुत इरिटेटिंग हो वो
और
मेरा
आपके लिए
बेस्ट फ्रेंड हो, मेरे लिए बहुत
best
बढ़िया हो। नाउ माय क्वेश्चन टू यू इज, सिचुएशन इज सेम इन फॉर्म ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन, सिचुएशन इज सेम। वो व्यक्ति मेरे लिए अच्छा है और आपके लिए बुरा है, तो उसको अच्छा कौन बनाता है और उसको बुरा कौन बनाता है? वो व्यक्ति नहीं बनाता, वो हमारा अंदर का प्रोसेसिंग सिस्टम बनाता है,
सोचने का तरीका,
सोचने का तरीका
yes,
बताता है। दैट इज व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू। सो इफ यू ड्रीम ऑफ अ परफेक्ट लाइफ, कि भाई कल का दिन ऐसा होगा कि एवरीबडी विल बी जस्ट पिक्चर परफेक्ट, एवरीबडी विल बी अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, everybody will be behaving the way according to I want them to be, everything is going to be the way just what I want them to be, patients will be saying this, whatever I say they'll be saying yes. This is like living in a utopian world, and this is often, not often, most often this is not possible. Then what do I do? Then what I do is let situations outside be the way they are coming. I don't fight with them. Let people be the way they are. अगर गलत है सही है, मैं अपने पर्सपेक्टिव को उनके सामने रखता हूं, बट आई डोंट अलाउ माई माइंड, the situation of my mind, to be influenced negatively by them. Instead, I choose positivity. Instead, I choose to remain calm and cool in that particular situation. That is where you are choosing that whatever is negative outside, let them be. I'm understanding the behavior of the person. I understand that the person is being rude and negative and that behavior is inappropriate. But his inappropriate behavior makes me also behave inappropriately. That is not a wise step. That is where you choose to externalize negativity, and instead you choose positivity in your mind, and not only you remain calm, you start changing that person by your own mindset. ये सिंपल प्रैक्टिस हमें घर में करनी है, अपने ऑफिस में करनी है। यही चीज, यही साइंस जो है, यही साइंस जो है हमारे माता पिता, हस्बैंड और वाइफ के रिलेशंस में काम करती है, बच्चों और मम्मी डैडी के रिलेशंस में काम करती है, यही चीज हमारे डॉक्टर पेशेंट रिलेशनशिप में काम करती है, हमारे फ्रेंडशिप में काम करती है। डॉक्टर पेशेंट रिलेशनशिप क्यों खराब हो रही है? वाइब्रेशंस नेगेटिव है, एनर्जीज नेगेटिव है। पेशेंट शक से आता है, डॉक्टर ऑलरेडी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड थिंकिंग में होता है, दोनों की लड़ाई होती है, दोनों के कंफ्लिक्ट ऑफ थॉट्स होते हैं, और वो चीज लिटिगेशन और नेगेटिविटीज में बदल जाता है। केवल विचार बदलिए, अपनी सोच को बदलिए, चीजें ऑटोमेटिकली पावरफुल और चेंज होती चली
some
जाएंगी।
amount of patience,
पेशेंस तो है ही है ना। मैं
वो
तो
थोड़ा that will save lots of
डॉक्टर किरण, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मेरे मदर गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट है। 98 में जब मैं इंटर्नशिप कर रहा था तो उनके पास मैं रोता हुआ पहुंच गया, बिल्कुल लड़ता हुआ। मैंने कहा क्या है मम्मी? उन्होंने कहा क्या हुआ बेटा? मैंने कहा क्या है, पेशेंट को देखो चिल्लाता हुआ आता है, हमेशा चीखता हुआ आता है। एंड शी सेड वन वर्ड दैट हैज ऑलवेज स्टेड विद मी, वन लाइन। उन्होंने कहा बेटा, पेशेंट में पेशेंस कभी भी नहीं होगी, पेशेंट में पेशेंस कभी भी नहीं होगी। अगर होगी तो वो खुशी खुशी तुम्हारे पास आएगा, डॉक्टर साहब आई एम वेरी हैप्पी, बताइए मेरा इलाज करें, ऐसा थोड़ी ना होगा कभी भी। पेशेंस हमेशा केयर गिवर को, हेल्थ केयर वर्कर को रखनी पड़ेगी, और वही पेशेंस आज हम लोग खो चुके हैं। सबको जल्दी करो, देखना है, मतलब से काम करना है, हर चीज हमारी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, हर चीज सोच कर करते हैं हम लोग, नाप कर करते हैं।
प्रोजेक्ट ये करना है, ये करना है,
ना केवल ये, हमारा लोगों के प्रति बिहेवियर भी, सुनिए, चेक करिए एक एक व्यक्ति, हमारा लोगों के प्रति बिहेवियर भी नाप कर, तोल कर, उनको एनालाइज करके होता है, विच इज समवेयर समहाउ इनअप्रोप्रिएट। It is not. We should be good to everybody in the same measure, irrespective of their behavior. That is the beauty. That is the art of living a good life.
Yes, that is the art of living.
सोचने वाली बात है, simple facts है।
Very nicely explained. Sir, you have also been working on the concept of reversing aging through Raj Yoga, which you do practice by the Brahmakumaris. Can you, how meditation influences that cellular and genetic aging?
So, I have discussed this many times, Dr. Kiran, and this is released in one of my TEDx talks and also on my videos. And I'll again reiterate the fact, continuing from the same point where I started, that what we showed was stress and anxiety is now individual and a major predictor of decreasing our telomere length. Telomere is like our DNA के अंदर जो उसका इंटीग्रल पार्ट होता है, जो हमारी वेलबींग को डिटरमिन करता है. That is what is responsible. And what we showed was those people who are who are full in stress, who are having anger, who are having lack of love and happiness and gratitude in their life, those people who are not having purpose, their telomerase enzyme is going down and their telomere length is decreasing. On the contrary, those people who are happy, those people who have purpose, who have joy in their life, उनका telomerase enzyme बढ़ता है and their telomere length is nearly perfect. And to that extent, that is what I tell, that now meditation is now one of the very powerful epigenetic tool. What does it say? It does not alter your genes, but giving you a good purpose in life, giving you happiness in life, giving you joy and gratitude in your life. It is increasing the telomerase enzyme and it increases your telomere length. And when telomere length is increasing, the disease expression is decreasing, and this is equivalent to reversing your aging. तभी आप देखेंगे कि आज से पुराने जमाने में जो भारतवर्ष के अंदर हमारे yogis होते थे, sannyasis होते थे, what was their age? 150 years, 200 years. Why? This is the reason. They didn't have these materialistic things and treasures, but their happiness, their satisfaction, their gratitude, their joy in their life was so simple and balanced. This is what maintains our telomere length, stops attrition of the telomere, and gives us a good, happy, and a peaceful and a long life. This is where now we are working. Now, what we are doing is using only 30 minutes of Raj Yoga meditation in people, in healthcare workers. And now we have clearly shown that anxiety and depression, you have a group which is doing stress management, and we have a group which is doing Raj Yoga meditation with stress management. You would be surprised that those people who are only practicing and trying stress management techniques, no change was observed in their life. But those people who complemented their stress management techniques with meditation, their anxiety and depression categorically reversed in life. This is the beauty. This is the power of meditation. Now, this meditation we are also using in our experiments to reverse the increasing by documenting increase in telomere length or maintaining the telomere length. So this is the simple science. कुछ करना थोड़ी ना है. It's going back to your own basics. Simple lifestyle.
But
Meditate.
there comes a point that many people say that they are not, although you will say कि naturally उसमें time निकलता है, but they have a feeling कि उनको meditation का time नहीं. मेरे पास I want to ask so many things, but the time is short, so I'll just come to this maybe the last question. How do they take out time? How do they do this? Some tips to do this meditation and get this benefit which you are saying, because we are all want to have the benefit. We are not, sometimes we feel कि हम करते हैं, हमारा होता नहीं है. Thoughts are not, we're not able to get that inner silence which you talk and calming our mind. So
Dr. Kiran, there are two aspects to it. Number one is time नहीं मिलता है. Let me ask you, do you have your meals every day? Why do you have it? Because you think they are important for you. They're important to sustain you, to make you live. So you are able to take out time to have your meals because you feel the need is there. So time comes out when you feel there is need for it. There is no shortage of time. You know, as I told you, if I in my own schedules can take out time for a while to empower myself, I think everybody on earth, everybody can take out. And why? Because it's not busy, it's a be easy schedule. I'm managing my mind to be very easy. I'm taking out, doing everything in my life, but I keep myself easy. It's a matter of only priorities. So you have, I always say 1,440 minutes every day. And tell me one person in this earth who says, I don't have even 10 or 20 minutes for my own self to empower myself, to energize myself, to change myself, to empower my own consciousness. This is ridiculous. This is just making a fool of your own self, or this is just like bluffing you. So it's never a question of lack of time. It's only a question of lack of attitude, lack of need. If you have a need, take out 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes.
Meditation is a very powerful tool to heal yourself. You know, meditation is not just कि हम बैठे and we start focusing on a point of light. No, that is not the kind of meditation. Meditation is a Latin word and it is derived from a word called medere. Medere means to heal, not just healing this body, but healing our psyche, our soul, our spirit, our consciousness, or what we often call it as a God spot. So it's healing of our own mind. Now, what do we do in meditation? It's very simple. Let me ask you a very simple question, and each one of you should do this. Dr. Kiran, you are sitting here. So let me tell you, sitting here, is it possible for you now, at this moment, if I say, go to your hospital and visualize and see the room where you work? Yes or no? Yes, you can. You can do
Visualize is
that. Yeah,
possible.
of course, you can see that. Or I am saying that you are sitting in your home or wherever you are sitting. Is it possible sitting here to see the bedroom where you sleep? Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course, the bed is right there in front of you. It's clear. Your cupboard is there. All your saris are there, hanging in the cupboard. Beautiful. Now, as a second question I say to you is, what you do is go back to your kitchen now, have a glass of water in your favorite cup or in your favorite glass. Possible or not? Yes, it is possible. You're able to see the kitchen. You're able to see the glass. Say hello to one of the members of your family whom you love a lot, and you have a smile on your face. You interact with the person. And now I say, come and right there, sit on the screen with me on the podcast, which you are already doing. Now, my question to you is, did you actually move from your position? Yes or no?
No.
None of you did. Whosoever are listening, none of you did. But who went to your room? How was it possible for you to go to your room, go to the kitchen and also speak to the person? Nobody went. Your mind, your consciousness, that is where the power of meditation is. It's nothing about the body. Meditation is nothing about the body. It's about our own consciousness. That is why in meditation, we are energizing our thoughts and diverting the flow of thoughts to healing, to Supreme Soul. Going beyond this body, we are not just this physical body, but we are a soul, we are a consciousness, and communion of soul with Supreme Soul is what the power of meditation is. This is what Raj Yoga meditation tells you.
Thank
We
you,
will
sir.
discuss about this in some detail later on. But
Yes.
let me leave you with these messages, only 3 messages. Number 1, take out time every day to empower and energize yourself. Life is not going to be permanent and forever. Understand the impermanence of life. Change your lifestyle. Start loving and accepting everyone. That's a very powerful message. If you are a great doctor, you have to be a great healer first. Great healer is one who is accepting, loving, and expressing gratitude to everyone. And third one is take out time to heal yourself every day. 10 minutes in the night, do 4 affirmations. I am a powerful soul. I clean all my mind of all the negativity. I program my mind to have a great sleep, and I program my next day for a wonderful and happening and things the way they are. Power of manifesting. This is the power of meditation.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mohit. I mean, the way you are talking, it feels like that I keep on listening and giving these messages to everyone, but time has a limitation. So I hope we will get some other time also, and when we will extend it also. But definitely your messages are very clear, and that we can say a calm doctor is the best medicine a patient can receive. So
Thank
with
you.
this, I would say once again, thank you. When you said the healing is complete only when the doctor is herself or himself is healed. So it's a very nice podcast, very important messages.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
so
the
much.
support today. Om
Thank you very
Shanti.
much.
Thank you.
Okay.